Joining me now with more is Dr. Jim Malatras, former chancellor with the State University of New York system of colleges and universities. Thank you so much for being with us.
It's nice to be here.
Less than half of Jewish students at this point feel safe on college campuses. We just saw the numbers there in Joe's report. Talk about the complexity of navigating these protests, and free speech, but why so many people, including lawmakers, believe not enough is being done to protect students.
Well, the real issue is the original sin of these college campuses was the tepid response by many after the attack by Hamas on October 7th, which blurred the lines in the moral clarity. And that's why you see the hotbed of hostility of anti-Semitism on campuses in many cases today. For those campuses who came out strongly, and my successor at the State University of New York system, Chancellor John King, came out forcefully and condemned the attacks, you don't see many of these issues that you see on other college campuses. So in many ways, it's taking that stand immediately, saying there are actions that you can and cannot take, and then go from there. And I think that's really festering on college campuses. But the truth of the matter is, this has been bubbling under the surface for a long time. And what this recent event has shown is it's just blown it out into the open. So we have a lot of work to do with anti-Semitism on campuses.
Well, something that really stood out to me, the first part of your answer there, calling it a tepid response. Do you think enough is being done to protect students? And why are we seeing such different responses on different campuses?
I don't think you're seeing enough to protect students on college campuses. If 7 out of 10 Jewish students in a recent survey say they've experienced anti-Semitism, that means we're not doing enough. That means we're not doing enough to foster a safe environment where people can learn, but also engage in open debate, which is a key and essential piece. A person's fear for their life is different than an open debate. So I think we do have to do much more on our college campuses. And where you're seeing a lot of this activity is on our college campuses, open hostility, violence, and those types of actions.
Absolutely. There has been this increase in anti-Semitic and Islamophobic incidents all across the country, obviously also happening on campuses. How much responsibility should be placed on these university administrators?
I was a university administrator, and in the end, the buck stopped with me. It's our responsibility as leaders of college campuses across the nation to do the hard work. And this is difficult. And I think many of the college presidents at today's hearing, which I think was a really important hearing that was put on, did say we have to balance the right of people to free expression and to feel safe. And they didn't always get that right. And it's all right to admit that we haven't always gotten it right. But where do we go from here? I now think we have to take a stronger response in saying no to violence and aggression, fostering a safe environment, but then also allowing for the free speech of ideals. It's not easy, but ultimately it's our responsibility as college administrators.
Absolutely. I like what you say, because it is important to be able to say, hey, maybe we didn't get it right, but it's important to admit that. How do these universities, how do these colleges start to try to bring students together, and possibly try to start to heal when there is so much raw emotion, really all throughout the country?
I think it's much more fundamental to the issues that we are seeing now with anti-Semitism on college campuses. We've had a long history on college campuses of anti-Semitism. One of the reasons why we have the State University of New York system was to combat anti-Semitism in other colleges and universities where there were quota systems for Jewish students, for instance. So this is long history. But I think we now have to engage with more robust education, a deeper understanding of these issues going on. I think there's a lack of that across college campuses. And that misinformation is fostering a lot of this division. So unless we really get our arms around this, the diversity, equity, inclusion movement is an important movement on college campuses. But it shows that we have a lot more work to be done because there's many students that don't feel included in that system of inclusion. And that's the work that now has to go on as we move forward in this really difficult time.
Absolutely. Very nuanced topic. Excellent discussion. Thank you so much, Dr. Malatras.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.